Hi, Professor Paul Frank here with another weekly update for your online international relations class. Last week I mentioned that I approach international relations as if it were a play unfolding in the global system, with many actors, including states as the main characters, but also other supporting actors, such as international governmental organizations, for example, the United Nations, OPEC, NATO, and other groups. We'll be talking about some of those international governmental organizations in a few weeks. For this week, we're going to be focusing on other non-state actors, such as multinational corporations, terrorist groups, and transnational advocacy networks. There are a few videos on D2L as well as two articles that I'm having you read, and that will help with your understanding in combination with the textbook reading that you have assigned for this week. When you're reading the articles on D2L as well as your textbook about non-state actors, I want you to look at how they relate with the main characters, state actors, in international relations. In other words, what's the relationship between transnational advocacy networks, in other words, interest groups that do business in the international realm? What is the relationship between those transnational advocacy networks and states? What's the relationship between multinational corporations, many of which are much larger than some countries that we have in the world? What's the relationship between those multinational corporations and states? And of course, terrorist groups, which are changing as we speak. Terrorist groups not only conduct terror among civilians, but they also are now being involved in politics, many getting elected to positions in some countries. So I want you to look at what the relationship between terrorist groups and states in international relations is as well. To help you, of course, you have the videos and podcasts that I've put on D2L along with the articles that you're expected to read. You also have the podcasts and videos on the CourseMate for your on the textbook website. On Tuesday morning, you have your online textbook quiz number 4, which is due. You also have your article analysis, which will cover a newspaper article of your choosing and combining that with either the Challengers article that's on D2L or the Advocacy Networks article on D2L. If you're having trouble opening any of the articles on D2L, I've posted a message on the course homepage or the news items, and it gives you the direct link for some of those. You have a writing assignment, number 3, that's due on Thursday morning at 9 o'clock. And as I mentioned before, you also have the online quiz. As always, I'm going to give you an opportunity to earn some extra credit by finding the most fascinating, wonderful website regarding non-state actors. If you find a website that you think is very interesting regarding terrorist groups or multinational corporations or transnational advocacy networks, again, a fancy word for interest groups that do business in international relations, then go ahead and send that to me as an email. In the meantime, the winner for last week's website challenge is now scrolling across the screen, and I encourage you to take a look at that, and maybe you can learn something that we haven't posted on D2L. You can learn it from a fellow student. As always, if you have any questions, please send me an email or stop by the office or give me a call. I'd be happy to answer any of your questions. Until then.